What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. We're back again with another TMNT Mutant Madness video. Today we're going to be looking at the early snapshot of the power mutation, and I'm going to be spending the gems to buy the guaranteed 5-star Attila drive. I'm not going to be opening it just yet, and I'll explain why as we move forward. But with that, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click the bell for more TMNT Mutant Madness content. Don't forget to ninja kick that like button and leave a comment with your thoughts down below. So with that, let's go get into it. Okay, here we are on the official Discord. In Channel 6 News, they've started letting us know in advance the power boost in Dimension Clash, the mutation heroes. So we have 3 heroes on mutation. The first one up is Muckman. Now, is Muckman worth using? I don't know. We're going to take a look at his kit and let you decide. The other one is Savanti Romero. Now, they used the wrong, I think it's probably capital S and capital R to see his icon there. Oh, it's just Savanti. And the third one is Antrax. Ooh. Now, of these 3, just at a glance, I'm thinking Antrax is the most valuable of these 3. That might be worth using on mutation. But we're going to go look at their kits in just a minute. But first, let's go buy the drive. Okay, so we're back in the game. And if you go to the boxes, like I showed you guys the other day, scroll down, the Attila tier box is just massive value. I did get enough gems to be able to make these purchases, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase them now, but I'm not going to be opening the drive right away, even because I not only do I not have enough bits right now, I have bits in my mailbox, but I don't want to use them until I know I'm going to be dedicating myself to the event. Now, with this 5-star shredder event that's happening right now, there's already a couple pretty big point holders on my leaderboard, and we still have more than a week to go. So I definitely want to wait and do some math to see if I could actually get that top spot. Now, also, since I already have a 5-star shredder, I think I'd rather save my materials and my points for another event. Hopefully they give us another Fugitoid event. Also, we're going to have another new hero coming this season. And the reason why I'm buying the guaranteed Attila drive is because after all the testing we've done and him being a brawler support, he is extremely versatile. He's basically a must-have on your lineup now. That's how I feel. So that's why I'm going through all this. Now, of course, it's taken me a long time to save up to get enough gems to get there, but it's definitely something that I feel is worth it. I have 11,300, so just barely making it over. Now, the nice thing is I am getting the points because the 4-star Attila, I can't stop from getting those points and all of these bits as well. But I'm going to save the drive. Now, the nice thing about that also is that it is increasing, so down to 289 bits. See, that's what I was talking about. Like I said, 0.3, but I didn't actually have 300. That, in my opinion, is a problem for anyone who's trying to buy things from the shop in things like that. So I won't be buying anything in the shop for a long time since I'm completely out of gems. But let's go ahead and take a look at those mutation heroes. So, like we said, the first one, because I can't sort by mutation because it's not there. The first one was Muckman. I have him somewhere. Here he is. So I haven't invested in Muckman yet. He's got the garbage toss, which can be very, very effective if you are playing on manual for targeting. So if you have Muckman and you've invested in him, it might be worth using. But Muckman and Savanti both were very unimpressive when they were released. Not sure if they're much better now. They haven't had any changes, so I don't see why they would. You get some damage over time, which is great, so that would pair well with Antrax. Antrax does like that damage over time, which we'll get to to see. And it stacks those damage over times with as you level him up. And then he also is able to give extra damage for his strength. So if you're able to boost his strength, that's going to really help out for him to do extra damage over time with his special. His Slip and Slime is going to take away defense, which is great, and also reduce haste and slow for 4 seconds. So this is kind of nice because even though he's not a support, he's a trickster. This is kind of like a support style. A lot of the trickster skills are these static effects, which can really affect the battle in huge ways. Negative 200 haste is a lot. Slow just slows their movement speed, so they can't walk across the battlefield so quickly, which isn't such an important thing, other than other effects that trigger if someone is slowed, which is why that might be nice. And of course, inflicts extra negative 100 haste and armor and root for 4 seconds to targets above 50 haste. So that's pretty interesting, that if the enemy has haste, then you're going to do even more, including the root, which is even better than the slow, to stop them from being able to walk at all. But not overly impressive with these skills. Joe Eyeball, which is his first passive, when he attacks, he's also going to target the highest health enemy at range 3. So it'd be nice if it was the lowest health, but this is going to kind of keep the enemy's hit bars kind of equal. Joe Eyeball is going to be targeting the highest health to help a little bit, but it'd be nice if he targeted the lowest health to eliminate people more quickly, which is another reason why I think that it's just not that great. But it does do that damage over time, so getting more damage over time stacks spread around could help with, like I said, Antrax, as we see when it comes up when we see his kit at the end. He also gains defense if the attacker has under 20 strength. So if you could partner him with someone who's stripping away strength, that this could actually be really good for him to stay alive longer. He's also going to gain alertness and armor if he's not stunned or silenced, and after being attacked, he's going to gain strength for 30 seconds if the attacker had under 20 strength. So once again, you want to remove the strength because he benefits from having strength himself, and then that's going to help him do more damage, increase the damage output from his skills, and then also cause all these extra triggers. So you want to be able to remove strength from the enemy. Now he does it himself, but it would be great to have someone else partnered up with him for this. Inflict negative 40 strength to all enemies within range 2. Extra strength to targets at range 1. So the closer they get to Muckman, the more strength he's going to strip. And then another extra 40 negative strength and negative 20 will to targets taking damage over time. So this is really huge, which is why the damage over time is going to really stack, which both Savanti and Antrax both do damage over time. So the three of these guys together, maybe this is why they're putting these three, is because they're trying to show us, hey, this damage over time synergy could work. Shredder also does damage over time, so maybe putting him on the team as well. And then, April. We always want April on the team. Trash Smash, which is his final auto skill, unlocked at 150. Chances are you're probably not going to take him to 250, so you probably won't get that skill if you do have Muckman. He's going to deal physical damage and stun, so it's nice that he has a stun, target all enemies at range 1 and deal some physical damage and some more damage over time. So lots of damage over time effects, and then he can do extra damage and stun for an extra second to targets under 20 strength, which is one of the goals for his kit to really get all his triggers. But once again, not very likely you'll have a 250 Muckman. So that's Muckman. A lot of strength manipulation and damage over time is what you're looking at with him. And then we have Savanti. The second one, his Curse of the Sands, is where he's going to also do damage over time. And he's also going to inflict silence. Now, silence is huge because they can't use any auto skills or their special if they're silenced. Only basic attacks at that point. And then with Muckman doing the negative haste, they're going to almost basically just be standing still. If you take Shredder, because he also has some damage over time and he disarms, if they're silenced and disarmed, they're literally just standing there. They're a totem. They can't do anything. So pretty cool there. Inflict negative 25 will for 20 seconds to targets above 10 will. We know a lot of people like having that will bonus. So this will be nice to kind of like mitigate the will bonus that the enemy has, so they're not going to get their skills off nearly as often. And then some extra damage over time per focus. So you really want to boost his focus. If you have Fugitoid, that might be good. I'm trying to think who else boosts focus. Maybe Dreg, maybe Irma boosts her own focus. I don't know if she boosts other people's. So some potential alternate options to pair with Savanti there. His first auto, Infernal Breath, targets all enemies in a line, deals some energy damage over 3 hits. Now, over 3 hits is not damage over time, it doesn't count, but he does have the inflict damage over 3 seconds, which is damage over time. So make sure that you pay attention there. So he does have some damage over time on his skill, but the over 3 hits is not a damage over time effect, but the over 3 seconds is. And then the extra damage over 3 seconds to targets without defense. So this is kind of like a win more skill if you can get rid of their defense, which Muckman does strip the defense. You might be able to get some more damage over time, more damage over those 3 seconds with that skill. His Time Lord Trader, his first passive, he's going to inflict negative 22 will, interesting number 22, rather than 20, to all enemies that are silent, stunned, or taking damage over time. So this is huge. There should be a lot of damage over time happening if you're comboing all these characters together to really slow down the skills from the enemy. He's going to gain 22 focus and barrier per enemy that is silenced or stunned, and per enemy that is taking damage over time. So if you can really boost his focus and barrier with all the damage over time that you're putting out there, could be really, really great. Now I see why Muckman and Savanti are put together. They could definitely work together well with the way their kits read. And then Dark Sorcery, when attacking, inflict negative 25 alertness for 3 seconds. This is going to help reduce the amount of defense they have to hopefully get his first auto skill to trigger. And he's going to do extra damage to targets taking damage over time. So we want to get as much DoT out there. And then inflict negative 3 barrier for 30 seconds to targets that are stunned or have under 0 haste. And as you noticed, the Muckman reduced the haste of enemies. So kind of an odd couple, but looks like their kits kind of help each other out. Target enemy inflicts stun for 3 seconds, gain 100 haste and 33 will for 3 seconds. Just really, really nice little stun there. The extra seconds of stun, probably not going to happen unless you take him to 250, but that's a huge investment for a character that's generally not too impressive and very, very niche with that damage over time. I've always felt that damage over time was kind of an underrated skill, and that's why I kind of liked Antrax before these others had come out. But let's take a look at him as well. He gains armor for a second, select enemy at range 2, move to them, deal physical damage, deal extra damage to targets under 33% health. Antrax is also like a win more, so we have some more like win more conditions with these different characters. If you can get them under health, he's going to just really do tons of damage. It's almost like a finish, the execute, right? So very, very nice. But you got to get into that position for those things to trigger. His Axe Assault, he's going to target up to 4 enemies at range 1, so anybody who's around him for the most part. Deals some damage over 4 hits. That's not damage over time, but he does have inflict damage over 6 seconds and negative 15 will for 6 seconds to each target hit. So he's going to do 4 hits. If he hits all 4 of them, then all 4 of them will get that damage over 6 seconds. But he's gonna, if he hits say 2 of them, the one thing I'm not 100% sure on, which we might want to ask the devs, is if they get hit twice, do they get this inflict damage twice? It says to each target hit, so maybe because it's hitting twice, it triggers twice. If any devs are in there, leave a comment, let me know. I will ask in Discord. Oh, we don't want to look at that one. It's the first passive Bloodthirst. After attacking, gain defense and 4 haste for 60 seconds if the target is taking damage over time. This is huge. He's going to ramp his haste and he's going to stay alive 60 seconds. That's a long time with all the damage over time that you're putting out there if you're able to use all 3 of these characters. And after an enemy at range 1 is knocked out, this is why I would hated playing against Antrax early on, especially in like Channel 6. Is that, you know, once this is one of those win more conditions. Once you knock out someone, if he's at range 1, he gains huge amount of defense, extra haste, 40 haste for 60 seconds, and he's just going to keep going, and it's just nasty. It makes him hard to take out. Death Knell, when attacking, inflict damage over 3 seconds to enemies under 66% health. So you got to get him underneath that 66% health for him to get this bonus, but then he's going to start putting more damage over time out there and really just helping trigger the other effects from himself and the other two that are on mutation this week. When attacking, inflict damage over time for 6 seconds to enemies under 33 health instead. So basically at 225, he's doubling the amount of damage he does over time when they get under 33% health. So it's 500 based on at 200 right now when they're under 66, and then if you get them below 33, they're going to do 1,000 over 6 seconds. So it's just makes it stronger if you can get him to 225. And then Kneel Before Krang is his final auto skill. Target enemy at range 1. Deal damage, inflict root for 4 seconds. So not a huge skill, just some damage. If you can take him to 250, inflicting a negative 100 will for 4 seconds, it's going to be huge. But that's, once again, a huge ooze investment. Antrax is probably the best of these 3 characters that can be used in a lot of situations as a brawler trickster, where the other 2, I think, are only going to be very useful when you kind of do this niche damage over time setup. So those are the mutation characters. Tell me what you think about them. Are you going to use them next week? If so, which ones, if any? Don't forget to ninja kick the like button and subscribe for more TMNT Mutant Madness content, and we'll see you guys in the next video.